I'm here with Steve and Brad from S2, and we're actually going to talk about one of the newer things coming into what you've been working on with Strife. And particularly, we're going to talk about the single-player experience. And this is something really new to MOBAs in general. It's interesting from what I've seen, so I'm going to let one of you kind of kick it off and tell me what this is exactly so everyone else knows what we're talking about.
Sure. So the Strife single-player experience was really an effort that we put in to try to bring our lore to life. I think that, fans of Strife have heard us talking about how lore is really one of those critical things that we want to see in Strife. And the single-player experience is really us making good on that, bringing that to life for everyone to not only read about it, which you see, I think, in so many MOBAs out there right now, is being able to actually, oh, here's some lore that we wrote down, and you're like, oh, okay, I've got to read through this. This is actually a way for us to say, experience the lore, actually live it. And so that's what we were really looking to do with the single-player experience.
Absolutely. Yeah, part of it, there's really twofold reasons what got us involved with experimenting with this idea. We're always trying to push the boundaries of telling better stories, creating more engaging heroes with a twist. And we got a lot of feedback on the forums from people who said, why don't you guys do a mini adventure or a single player campaign? And that same question kept coming up at least 2 times or 3 times a week. And there was long threads on it. We had also had some early success when we were creating a tutorial for Strife, which is Caprice's first player experience. It gave a little more insight into Caprice. It really was designed to be a tutorial to get you into playing and getting you familiar with the controls if you had never played a MOBA before. And with those 2 things, we just started connecting the dots, and we have done a lot of experiment in creating a comic, a web comic as well. Mm-hmm. And this is sort of another kind of test the waters and see what the feedback is from the community, and see if they like to see more of this. Strife is a pretty epic story. There's a lot of entry points to the story. There's a lot of heroes where the threads of the story cross over. We thought a good entry point for us was Bastion. And so episode 1 will be Child of the Dawn. It really talks about Bastion's journey. Where was he before? And he's from the plane of Gale. But where was he before he joined the Trials of Strife? And what kind of journey did he unfold for him to actually get there?
Yeah, and we chose Bastion because honestly, in most of the story of Strife, a lot of it starts with Bastion. Mm-hmm. We really felt that he was the critical character to really focus in on, to really start these single player experiences, to let people really get into the lore, because he kind of works as the catalyst to it all. He's the chosen one, the child of prophecy. And so we said, where is the best place to really intro a player in? And that was the one that we're like, Bastion is the one that we've got to start with.
So the single player experience is already live because we are at open beta point right now, and so anybody right now can play this. And I actually had a chance just to take a peek at it myself. And apart from the tutorial into the game, I think this is another good way for maybe new players to MOBA or just the game itself. It's kind of a good place to start when wanting to maybe learn a little bit more about just how the game feels, how it plays, just getting used to Strife in general. So is this a good place for new players and anyone looking for that?
Absolutely. I'd also say that in addition, you don't really need to have any experience playing a MOBA to get involved with Caprice's new player experience or for episode 1, Child of the Dawn, because we're trying some different things. Bastion has a different play set completely, and it's not strictly MOBA based, so anybody who's played in games before, we're really looking to kind of encourage them to get involved with the story in a non-threatening way.
Now, I did say, as much as it can be comfortable to get started there if you are newer, it's not exactly the easiest though overall. There are difficult sections in it, which I think also it's great playmat for just anybody who's looking for a challenge too, because it's just something fun to also play.
Absolutely. If you think of the new player experience with Caprice, again, it was designed as a tutorial. We want to make sure that anybody who plays games will be challenged by this single player experience so that it is engaging at a different level, but also it will require probably a good fair amount of gameplay expertise to really get through the entire campaign.
Well, fantastic. Well, if you're looking forward to not only playing Strife, which is now in open beta, you can also play the single player experience as well with the game, which is just in the game. Just so go over to the single player experience and try it out. It's pretty fun. So look forward to playing that now. If you haven't downloaded it, you can head over to strife.com and check out the full game for itself. And we'll see all of you guys next time.